Hi, and welcome back to another Amazon selling video. My name is Nikki Kirk, and we are deep into the Q4 prep for 2025. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to set up the new SSA, which I should have looked this up, but I think it's shipping settings automation something. It stands for something, and when I get into the account, I'll tell you exactly what it stands for. But basically, it's something Amazon rolled out last year that enables you to have claim protection. So if your shipment doesn't arrive to the customer, if the shipment gets stolen from the customer, basically, when you use it and you are using Amazon to purchase shipping for FBM, which I highly recommend you should. I have a lot of videos on FBM. I'll go into why you should FBM and all that kind of stuff in a future video about Q4. But you want to be purchasing, if at all possible, your shipping through Amazon because it has a lot of protections for your account. So this is the video of how to set up those FBM templates. You absolutely are going to want to, and I'll jump into all of that in just a sec. As I mentioned, we are knee deep into the Q4 prep, and my Q4 Bolo group is back for its 5th year this Saturday. The doors are opening for the early access. So definitely sign up yoursellingguide.com/early access to get on that early access list because it is limited to just 200 sellers. It has sold out in the past. And so if you want to make sure you are in the group, and you are going to want to be in the group because it's a lot of fun, then you definitely want to get on that list and check your emails on Saturday. This Saturday, the 23rd, those invites are going out. Really quickly, just a rundown of the Q4 group. It's 4 months of Bolos, so technically starts in August 25th when the doors officially open for the public. If you didn't sign up for the list, the doors will open on the 25th. So you will get access to the group for 4 months. We will have Hangout calls, Zoom calls that are recorded every single Wednesday throughout Q4. There are a couple weeks where, like Seller United, I'm going to that. So if you'll be there, let me know because I would love to meet up there. But we'll have it on Tuesday that week because I'll be at Seller United on the Wednesday. And then, of course, Thanksgiving, I push it back because we're all busy, with either selling or making food for Thanksgiving on that Wednesday. So there's a couple, I think those are the only two, but on my website, yoursellingguide.com/Q4 2025, you can see all of the dates, all of the times for the Hangouts, if that's something you want to look at ahead of time. Also, with the group access, you get all my FBM customer templates. You get my plan of action templates for Amazon. You get my retail arbitrage guide to Q4 for 2025. It is updated for this year. You get all my ungating guides, and most of all, you get access to an amazing group of sellers who are going to help you out along the way. So whether you're a new seller or you're experienced sellers, we all have a great time in this group, and I cannot wait to see all of you who've been in there in the past because I just love catching up, and as I've said before, we make so much money together. It is such a good time, so I can't wait to see you there. Sign up again, yoursellingguide.com/early access to get on that early access list. Okay, so if you've never FBM'd before, which FBM is fulfilled by merchant, it can be very intimidating. How do I know this? Because I was super scared to do it. In fact, I didn't start selling on eBay until like 2 years ago because I was scared to do it. But I have been FBMing for, 5 years now. I did a little bit here and there, or maybe 6 years. But I did a little bit here and there. Mostly I did not FBM because I was full-time RVing on the road, and so I didn't have an address necessarily for the returns to go back to. And so it just created, plus I didn't have room to hold all the stuff. And so I would really only do it for small, light, and like fast-moving products. But now that I'm stationary, have the room, there is no excuse to not FBM because I'd have to dive into my numbers, but easily over half of my profit comes from FBM sales. The way you get your payouts on Amazon is the same for everything, but with FBM, it just feels like you're getting your payouts faster because you are controlling when that product gets to the customer. So if you don't know how Amazon payouts work, really quickly, you get your money in your available balance, not your account reserves, available balance. I know I said that weird a second ago. But you get that money available 7 days after it was delivered to the customer. So if I get my item to my customer this Friday, my available balance from that order will be there the following Friday, 7 days after. With FBA, it's the exact same. However, because you're sending your product into the warehouse, and then it might move around through FC transfer to other warehouses, and then might be still taking forever, so that's maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then finally the customer buys it, or maybe they bought it, but they saw the date that they were going to get it was a month out, and they were fine with that. Either way, until that customer actually gets that product, it's 7 days after that when you get the money from that sale. So with FBM, you have a little bit more control, and it feels like you are getting that money faster because most of the time you kind of are from the sale. The downside to FBM, you can give your customer service over to Amazon. I would not recommend it. I really don't like to give them any more control of my account than I absolutely have to. So I do my own customer service. So you'll have to answer buyer messages. You'll have to deal with returns and all that kind of stuff. The other downside is the feedback part of it. FBM customer feedback or seller feedback on your account is almost, if not, impossible to get off. So you want to make sure you are sending the correct product in great packaging, prepped correctly. There's no excuse for bad feedback. You're going to get a bad customer every once in a while, but you want to do everything you can to eliminate that as much as possible. So that is some downsides to FBM, but overall it's all upside and a lot of profit. So you really want to be FBMing. So in this video, I'm going to show you different settings you can set up in your Amazon account to make the FBM process faster and not get overwhelmed, because as we get into November and December, those Q4 orders are going to fly in, and there may be days that you're doing 100, 200 orders at a time. I'll show you how you can stop that if you want to, but yeah, it gets crazy. You might want to hire some family assistants or something. I always have someone usually helping me do my FBM orders when it gets real crazy. So definitely something to consider. But here is how you set up the different settings in your account. So before we get into the shipping templates, I want to go over a couple other things you want to set up. So account info, settings, account info. You're going to see your vacation settings. So vacation status, store status for vacation is only for FBM. It does not affect your FBA products. So if you're going out of town for a week or whatever, you want to set your store on vacation mode so that you don't get FBM orders, because if you don't ship them, that'll be ding-zing on your account. So if you wanted to set your settings, you can see I've always have Mexico, Canada, and Brazil on vacation, and my US is active, but you would just click in, edit, turn it on, or turn it off. And you can also do this from your phone in the app. And then you will, on your Amazon app, if you're like me and check it like 5 times a day, you'll see a little bar that says you're on vacation, which is kind of annoying that it's there, but it is helpful. If you didn't know you put your store on vacation and you didn't want it to be, that will tell you about it. So from here, you can set up your return address if you want your returns to go to a different address than you are shipping them from. You can set up some shipping settings, and you can set your buy shipping preferences, which is what I really want to highlight. But just quickly, in the returns address, you'll see a bunch of different return settings. So all the different authorizations, I don't know why UK is on here, but if it's in the US, which is, again, I'm only showing you what I use and what I do. So there's some things I might show, but I'm not going to actually talk about them because I have no idea, because I don't use them. So United States, if it's in the policy, Amazon prepaid label will be sent to the customer. I only have the option to do prepaid label. Amazon does the RMA, and labels for exempt items. So these are items that maybe are hazmat, or the return is not, they're non-returnable. The customer still might reach out and want to return it. And again, in my Q4 group, I have all of my templates. I literally just go off of my templates, my shipping. I copy paste templates, because you will get buyer messages for returns and things like that. Copy paste, super easy. You get all those templates as a part of the group. So I have this, and then I have return settings. I have no idea when I even wrote this, but it's in here. Hi there, you may return this item. We will inspect it and issue a refund if it's returned in original sellable condition. I make sure to write that in everything, because if someone's trying to scam me and get a return, I want to be upfront that if it's not in sellable condition, we charge a restocking fee, and I have that again in my templates. And to just add it, you would, if you don't already have it, like mine is already in here, but if you didn't already have it, you would just click here to write whatever instructions you want to add on that. Resolutions. If you wanted to have a return list thing, so maybe you don't want that $10 napkin back. You can say, you can pick the obviously I don't have these set up, but you can pick the category, you can pick the return reason, the marketplace, name the rule, and then Amazon, basically the customer won't have to return it. I don't have that. I want all the stuff back. Yeah, but if you wanted to do that, you could do that. You will here manage your return addresses. So mine is right there, blocked out, obviously. Now, whatever you call it, so mine says Oklahoma Warehouse, whatever you call it, just know that's going to show up on your label. So if you have maybe a UPS store post box, but even though you're sending it from your house, you want to make sure that the returns go to the UPS store or whatever the address is. If you're concerned about your address being on there, you can do a different return address. I wouldn't be super concerned about it, but if you want to get a post office box or UPS box, that's totally an option. You can do that with Amazon, and then you can have your return sent there. Return program. So this one is so weird because I want to offer free returns on none of my items, but I'm still paying for the shipping on the return. This has been like this forever for me. I don't know why it doesn't work, but I'm always ended up paying the return shipping for customers, unless it's a hazmat item, in which case I still have to pay the return because I will literally buy a label off a pirate ship and send them the PDF so that they can return it to me if I want the item back. Because hazmat and non-returnable stuff, Amazon will not auto-issue a return label, so you might need to do that. And I know I'm getting like way into the weeds with this, but I just wanted to highlight these things that will come up. Okay, back into the account info. By shipping preferences. This is another area that you're going to want to pop into. You can add in here specific packages that you use a lot. So you can see I've got 6 of them in here. I have the free UPS large, the free UPS small. Yes, UPS is no longer necessarily sending out free shipping stuff anymore because I knew it was going to happen eventually, but they have got hip to it. Even though we're sending stuff UPS, for whatever reason, they are limiting because it looks like we're not buying stuff with our accounts because we're buying it through Amazon. So if you can still order supplies, I would highly recommend calling and stocking up while you can because they are limiting that. But anyways, so you've got the free, I've got them in here, the measurements for the UPS large and the UPS small. And then I do a lot of 4x4x6, 6x6x6, 4x4x8. And these are the box measurements. So if you have boxes you use a lot, you want to go in here and enter these in. And I'll show you when I do a shipment here at the very end of the video. I'll walk you through, if you've never done FBM, what it looks like to buy the shipping. But you can see it pop up, and then you'll be able to just pick the box you want, and it'll like help streamline everything as you are doing hundreds of orders a day. So if I wanted to add a new package, I have a 4x6. 9. I can add it in there. You can call them whatever you want, whatever makes it easier when you're buying the shipping. Confirmation. Options include confirmation on the page. So settings, none for all packages with the greater value than. I have mine set to none. I'm not totally sure what that is, but I've always had it to none. Then we have the insurance. So if you have products over a certain amount or if you want like a signature confirmation, that's what that is. Look at me talking through things. So if you wanted to have maybe I should do that. It will automatically add that signature confirmation for things over, actually, I'm gonna do $150. $150, it's gonna add signature confirmation or delivery confirmation. Reasons why. I don't want, like I sold that $1,200 beauty product. I always sent those signature confirmation. Like I don't want anything coming back like I didn't get it. No, I need you to sign for the product. So because UPS will just leave stuff now, you want to make sure, or even post office, you want to make sure that it's signed for. So greater than $150, I want to add signature delivery. Even if you don't have this, so I had it at none. Even when I sent those things, there is an option to add signature delivery when you're buying the shipping. All this is doing is automating it for you, so it's already there. So the order's over $150, it's going to automatically add it. I don't need to make sure I remember to do it. Okay, same thing with the shipping insurance. So I want to add the extra cost. It is going to add a little bit extra cost to the shipping, but it's worth it. So I'll go ahead and put that one at $150 also. Oh wait, and now we're gonna get into the shipping templates. So you'll go here to, if you wanted to go a faster way without going to the return settings and all that, but the buy shipping, you do have to go to account and then buy shipping. So now we're gonna go into shipping settings. And this is where we have our templates. So again, in the Q4 group, I share all my templates. Some of my admins also share their templates, so you can get an idea of what our templates look like, because we all do have different templates. I believe you can have up to 20 templates. You can see I have 5. I only used the 1. Well, that's not true. If I have hazmat items, I do use a ground shipping only, and that has to be the old school template. We have my template here. I have my preferred carriers. Again, I'll walk you through this in just a second, but just to very quickly see it. So I have free shipping where it does not cost for the orders to the customer. Then I have standard shipping, which is the shipping settings automation enabled. I charge $9.99 plus $1.99 a pound. And then to Hawaii and Puerto Rico and Alaska, I charge $1 more. I'm actually going to update these, and the reason I'm going to update it is because I've been having some standard shipping come through lately on my orders, and it doesn't cover it. But I have to get it there in a faster method, but the cost the customer's paying is not necessarily covering it, so it's getting like $10, $9, but it's costing me $14. Now, I don't care, because they could have done it for free shipping, right? And I would have covered the whole thing. But I do want to make sure, especially for Q4, that I am not coming out of pocket on shipping necessarily. So especially for standard shipping. So I'm going to probably update that to $12.99, but we'll do that in just a second. Expedited shipping. So this one is going to get to the customer in 1 to 3 days. Basically, this is what I want people to purchase. On my old FBM videos, if you've watched any of those shipping templates, that was all I had. I never offered 2-day. The reason I personally don't like offering 2-day is that the UPS store is 35 minutes away, one way, so that's an hour something trip just to go to the UPS store. Now, the cool thing is with the like Pirate Ship, I schedule UPS pickups. That makes it easier. So I can schedule a pickup, pay the $7 or whatever, and roll. So it costs me a little bit more to do the pickups, but a lot of times if people are paying for the shipping, the $59 plus $5.99 a pound, and yes, they are paying that during Q4 especially, if they're going to pay for that shipping, I actually make a little money on the shipping after even doing the Pirate Ship pickup. So you want to make sure all of your potential costs. So for me, it's time. If I drive to the UPS store, it's going to take me an hour of my time. I really don't want to do that, so I have the price set up to, I don't want to do this price. It also covers the UPS pickups, so I do that. Okay, I'm rural. So UPS literally only comes to deliver, and they just started this last year during Q4, so that was fun. They will only come to pick up and deliver on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So if I have orders on Wednesdays and Fridays, I have to go drive it to the UPS store. And again, my price reflects that. You can change and charge whatever you want. You may get, and I do get these emails from Amazon that says my shipping's too high. I never touch it. People still order, so you may get those emails. But expedited, that one is what I would prefer them to pick, because I can still ship it like post office. I might be able to ship it 3-day or normal shipping. It will get there still on time, especially like if someone orders it from Oklahoma, because I'm in Oklahoma, or Texas. It will get there in a day and I can do ground. So I have that, and again, 2-day is like, because, and then you can turn off 1 day on these templates. So I have turned off 1 day because I don't want to mess with that at all. So the thing to remember is you do have to ship your items out and get them to the customer on time, or it is going to affect your Amazon account and your ability to FBM. So definitely make sure you're doing all of that stuff correctly. So here you can edit any existing templates. So in my past videos, if you've watched those, you'll see me click this off. Shipping settings automation. I was right. That's what it means. So if you click this off, you're not going to have the SSA, the claims covered, protection, all that. So now you have to have this on. Not a problem. But remember I said I wanted to update my shipping price. So I'm going to go ahead and update it here. So you literally just, that easy. Expedited, I'm good. And again, you can choose the drop down. So if I say, oof, expedited, I actually want to do 2 and 4 days. and I can change that there. You can't do it in standard or 2-day because Amazon does that. But again, for my free shipping, you can pick 3 to 5 or 4 to 8. These matter because on the back end, or I guess on the front end, when customers are buying a product from Amazon, you know how when you buy something, it tells you what day it's going to get there or what time period it might get there? That is why these matter. So it's taking into account your handling time, which we'll talk about in just a second, and also your transit time. So to be competitive with other sellers, you want to make sure that your transit time and your handling time all add up to a good enough time, because if a customer, for example, I was really wanting, it was like 2 years ago, cherry chip cake, which I don't know if Betty Crocker or whoever makes it stopped making it or something, couldn't find it anywhere, was really craving it. I wanted that cake mix. So I was on Amazon looking who can get it to me fastest, because I think I was doing no sugar coming up and I was trying to make the cake before the no sugar. I can't totally remember, but anyways, I needed it now. And so I was looking at the different shipping, like when it's going to get there. So I want it, Saturday. I don't want it 2 Saturdays from now. And so that's why all those different shipping times matter to the customer, especially in this like busy Christmas holiday time when people want their stuff when they want it. And then you can see my 2-day regions, or 2-day time, I have the regions, UPS 2nd-day air. And then because I can ship it all these ways and get it there in 1 to 2 days, these have their separate ones. And again, I'm charging the same. So if I wanted to charge more for the further away states, I could change that right here. So I could charge $69 for the further away states if I want. I've not had any, I've been making like $15 to $20 on shipping with it set like this, which I'm making, but remember I have to pay for the gas and go to the store. So it's not necessarily like I'm making it. I'm just making the money for my time. Now, general shipping settings. You want to go into this. So you're going to have your default shipping address. This is where you are going to be shipping from. Again, why this matters. If you are in California, but now you're in Florida visiting family, and you have an order that's going to Florida, if your shipping is set to your California address, from California to Florida, it's going to cost more than Florida to Florida, right? So you want to make sure that you are shipping from wherever you're actually shipping from, just to save on postage. Then we have the handling time. So this automated handling time is active. We saw that in my template just a second ago. If we click into edit here, there's a way to enable it for SKUs. I don't have that set. Your default handling time. Once upon a time, and maybe your account's still grandfathered, we used to be able to say 2 days. So that would mean if I get an order today and today is Wednesday, I wouldn't have to ship it until Friday. 2 days handling time. However, I changed it to 1 day to be more like competitive for Q4. And then Amazon changed something and 2 day completely went away. So if you have 2 days still, and that's what it's set to, if you ever go to 1 day, you will totally lose the 2 day. Maybe not, but you probably will. You can also do same day. And so same day is anything before, I believe it's 2 p.m. Any order before 2 p.m., you have to send it out that same day. So again, a lot of sellers do that for Q4. I don't, but you can set it that way to be even more competitive and offer faster shipping to get the orders. Another thing that you might want to consider, I've never done it because I'm just like, I'll take all the orders I can get, but maybe you have a family and a full-time job and you're just like, I cannot possibly do more than 60 orders a day. You can set up a daily ordering limit. So 60 orders, 40 orders, however many orders you can physically do in a day, you can set that up here. So if I said 60 orders here, what that would mean is when I hit 60 orders for that day, I would still keep selling stuff. So I might do 80 orders that day, but the next 20 would be pushed out to the following day so anything, say I had it set to 60, I sold 80, the 60 I would have to do tomorrow, Thursday. The other 20 would be pushed out that I wouldn't have to do those until Friday. So it gives you a little bit of a buffer while not totally cutting off your orders. So if for whatever reason you need to set that, you would set that here in the order handling settings. Now back to the shipping settings. The other thing of note is these are the holidays where you are not expected to ship. So for Q4, we won't have to ship on Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, or Christmas Day. You will need to ship out any orders that you sell on Thanksgiving on that Black Friday. So just make sure you are set up for that. Otherwise, set your store to vacation mode. I wouldn't recommend that because that's a huge buying weekend, but you got to do what you got to do. If you're out of town and you can't ship stuff, you have to set it on vacation. So just know that. The buyer cancellation. This was new last year. It still says it's new, but basically what that means is I have mine set to an hour. I believe it will automatically be set to 30 minutes. So if a buyer buys something and cancels their order, or they want to cancel their order within an hour of buying it, it will automatically just be canceled for them. I don't have to go in and approve the cancellation. If a buyer cancels it 1 hour and 15 minutes later, I'll get an email that the buyer wants to cancel it. And if I've not sent it out yet, I can cancel the order. Or if I've sent it out, I'll be like, I'm so sorry, it's already in the mail, but you're free to return it when you get it. So that's just the automatic canceling. So you can set it to whatever time frame you want. I have mine to an hour. All right, and now shipping templates. You guys, it's super easy. So let's go ahead and create a new one. If I wanted to copy one of my existing one, I would go ahead and do it here. But I'm going to say I'm going to create a whole new one from scratch. You'll get this pop up first of all. I only have one location, so I'm going to pick my location next. Fulfillment preferences. I do not have seller fulfilled Prime. I've never been eligible. Basically what it is like, you know, when a customer is buying FBA, it says it's Prime eligible. There are some accounts and sellers who are able to offer the seller fulfilled as Prime. But you can lose it if you ship late and all that kind of stuff. I've never had it and I've never had an issue. So this is always blacked out for me. Then you'll set your shipping preferences. So this is where I say I would prefer, because the post office is 5 minutes away and the UPS store is 30 minutes away, and I don't even know where a FedEx place is, although they will come pick up. They'll come pick up every day. But anyways, because I prefer the post office, I can set up that I prefer the post office. I don't have Amazon shipping in this because, again, I'm rural, but you might have Amazon shipping as an option, in which case Amazon will come and pick it up. I know a lot of members in the Q4 group have done that. I'm not totally familiar with it, so I'm not going to tell you how it works because never done it, so I'm not totally sure, but I know they will come get it. So I say I would prefer UPS over everything, but I'm never going to do Mail Express, that's for sure. Or post office, I don't know what I said. But anyways, then I'm going to say these are fine. Ground saver. You can select up to 10, so I've selected 10 and now I'm on my preferences. And then you have the I want Amazon to choose shipping preference based on these conditions. So you can say based off of the delivery region, the item price, the packaging weight. You can say I want Amazon to choose the shipping service that I selected above that creates the longest delivery time. So this is the longest time that the customer will see so that they won't be disappointed. You can say, I want Amazon to choose my shipping preferences on the fastest delivery time based on the location. So again, this will give you a little bit of a leg up over other sellers possibly. Or you can say, I want Amazon to do it over my preferred ranking. So if I wasn't so rural and I had all the stores real close to me, I would probably do this one. But again, because of my situation personally, I do this one, and then you can literally grab it how you want it. So if I say I want UPS ground to be that one, you can drag them and drop them in the order that you would prefer. So premium shipping automation preferences. Again, I don't know why it's asking me that because that is the thing I don't even have. So now we get to the naming part. You want to name it something that makes total sense to you. Because when you're listing stuff, especially if you're listing stuff from your phone, you'll pick a shipping template you want to assign to that settings. As I said, you can have up to 20 shipping templates for various different things. I think I'm actually an oddball that I only really have the 1 or 2 that I use, but a lot of sellers have different ones for different situations. You can even set up item specific as long as you're, within your 20. So call it whatever you're gonna. So this is my Q4 2025 template, or I don't even need to write template, but you get what I'm saying. So name it something. I do change the transit time on free. You don't have to, but I always change it to 3 to 5 because it always gets there in time. If I wanted to add a free shipping region, so I don't offer free shipping to Alaska and Hawaii, but say I want to, but it's going to take a little bit longer to get there. So I'll leave it at 4 to 8 days. You can do that. Standard shipping. Again, this is the one. So with standard shipping, it usually is literally the same thing that I would have done for free anyways, but there are some instances where it has to get there a little bit faster than it probably would have for my free template. And so with that, I'm sometimes paying a little bit more. So you want to be sure that you're charging enough to cover those costs. And you can come update your templates anytime, just like I showed you before. So you're not tied into this. If you get an order that is like, oh my gosh, I'm losing money on this order, I can't believe the shipping is so much. Unfortunately, I always send the orders out still. It's a cost of your learning curve. And then you immediately get into your template and up your price or make a new template for that specific item. But you can update these anytime as the prices go up because they'll always go up during Q4 too. So what did I say? $11.99. And then you can add in the per pound. So maybe for this one, I want to add $2.99 a pound, $14.99 for the other, plus $4.99 a pound. Just to make sure you're covering the potential cost. It's not actually that much money to ship to US and Puerto Rico. And you'll actually see when you get the orders that they don't have to get there for like a week and a half. For Hawaii anyways, I've noticed in Alaska. And sometimes it throws me that the date's so far out and then I realize where it is and I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways, we're rambling. So expedited. So if you wanted to add regions, which I can't remember, we're going to experiment here. Oh, sorry, I should have said this. If you don't want to offer free shipping at all, you just click off the free shipping. If you don't want to offer expedited on this template, you would just click off the expedited template. If I want to edit these regions, so I'm in the South, Midwest, whatever you want to call it. So let's say I want to do Midwest and South is that price. And now these two, I'm going to have a different price. So expedited, I'm going to say it's 1 to 3 days. And then 29. But over here, actually, maybe I'll do, it's not as much here. But to go further, it's going to cost me a little more, right? So you can go ahead and update those regions. So even if you're in California or if you're on the West Coast, you know it's going to be a little bit cheaper there, but you want to charge more to go all the way to the East Coast, you can set those regions up right there. 2 day, again, if you wanted to add 1 day, you would need to click it on. I do not, but it's there. 2 day, you cannot turn off. Or maybe you can. I didn't think you could turn it off, but maybe you can. Either way, we're going to charge a lot of money for 2 day. And again, you could edit the regions. First, I would need to click off the regions I want to charge more for. Hit OK. And then we'll add a region. Let's not add the West Coast and see what happens. I don't think it will let me. But we'll see. I thought you had to have all the regions, but apparently you could not offer it to a region if you don't want to. Interesting. Either there's a glitch or I learned something new. Okay, so literally it's that easy. You can set up as many as you want. Like I said, you definitely want to be FBMing. I know I started the video with the things that could go wrong, but the things that go right is so much profit. It is so worth it. So really quickly, let me go into an order and show you what it looks like to buy the shipping. So this item is something I've already sold before. So the cool thing is since I've already sold it before, it saves the weight, the box, and everything. So when you sell the same item over and over, you don't have to enter in all the weight and everything. But if I hadn't done it before, it would ask me for the dimensions. And if I can either pick it from that box list that we made earlier, or if it's a custom box or a box I've never used before, I can add it in right here. You'll weigh it, you'll box it, package it, weigh it, and then I know this one weighs 1 pound, 3 ounces. And again, this is where that confirmation, because it's like a $20 item, there's no confirmation. But if it was $150, $160, $200 item, the confirmation would be auto set for me here because I set that up earlier. It has my printer already ready. With Ground Saver, you can't do a insurance rate, but if this was over $150, again, it would have it in here with the insurance already for me as I set that up. And then you can pick which one you want. So you can pick, you can click in here and you want to make sure when it needs to get to the customer and that you'll be delivering it on time there. But you can say, remember, I like the post office, so I'm going to say I'm going to do that, even though it's 15 cents more. It's worth it for me to do 15 cents more and send it through the post office. And it's going to get there faster anyways. If someone pays me $60 to ship something and I can ship it ground for $12 and it will get there next day because maybe it's in Oklahoma, I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick the cheapest thing that gets it there on time. And there are times when I'm paying $40, $50 for shipping because that's how much it costs to ship and they want it in 2 days. So you want to make sure that those things are set. And again, you could cancel an order, but if you cancel orders and it's your fault, you're canceling it, it's not the buyer canceling it, it does count against your account and your ability to FBM. So I always say if you messed up, take it as a learning lesson. Anytime it actually costs us, we definitely learn. And so take that as a learning lesson, but it's super easy. So as soon as I hit buy shipping, it's going to print the label out because I have that QZ whatever tray set up and I'll be off to go. One quick other thing I learned a couple years ago, all these items, I know you can't see them, but they're all the same item. So I could select this and say buy shipping in bulk. And then you'll see it's got the measurements. Now, one thing I wouldn't recommend, and I'm not going to do this in bulk, is this. See, you can't see it, but I can tell from the weight. They ordered 2 of them, so I don't want that label to print out, and I'll get confused that I'll be boxing up singles, and then, wait, this person needed 2. Since I don't want to do Ground Saver, I can go ahead and click Cubic. But yeah, you pick your printer and hit print, and then it'll print all the labels out for you. So any like orders, I do the buy shipping in bulk just to do it. Especially if you have a helper, I go, here's the labels, here's the box, here's the stuff, go ahead. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful and even more exciting, you guys. Saturday is the day. So if you want on that early access, yoursellingguide.com/early access to get into that Q4 group this coming weekend. I cannot wait to see you there. And until next week, happy FBMing!